With the nerfs to Mysteria Rune a couple of weeks ago, the meta has gone through a major change. We have seen the rise of decks like Helio Shadow, which was completely overshadowed, by, no pun intended, by Last Words before, but it's now seeing a lot more competitive play and even winning JCGs. We have also seen the rise of Castel Forest, a deck that was always present in the meta since it was released, but it was always a little bit underpowered compared to what everyone else could do. But now, after a lot of buffs, a lot of good support in the new expansion, and the Mysteria nerfs, it has found itself a really good position in the meta and a lot more popular on ladder and on tournaments. We also have Ramp Dragon, a deck that always took a little bit of time to set up, but once it got there, it became a real nightmare to deal with, and it's now thriving as well. Even Lina is getting a lot more play right now, and some decks even dare to combine it with Eluvia, giving not only massive followers, but also healing and more consistency. And with all of these decks rising up, and a lot of others like Control Forest, Rally Sword, Artifact Portal, being played and tested, I ask myself one question, and that is, can neutral sort of rise in this new environment? Let's find out.
Scared, are ya?
What's up everyone, Nobbu here, and today we are playing Neutral Sword. I know a lot of you in the Shrine has seen me post a lot of lists, a lot of discussions about this deck, how much I tried to make it work, and after a lot of lists and changes, I think this is the definitive list, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it. This sets up for a lot of different combos, and just a little more consistency thanks to cards like Alice and cards like Grimnir, turning that possible 7 to 9 damage. You also have very powerful cards such as Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh will destroy 2 cards and deal 7 damage by itself. If you evo it, it can get up to 9, and with some buffs it can get up to 10 damage by itself, while also giving you an Enkidu for word. And the inclusion of cards like Harbinger of the Night, transforming a follower, and basically being 2 evos thanks to it buffing the Falling Angel, that will evolve thanks to Charlemagne's effect. Then you have just a lot of good neutral followers. Alice, you have Aldous, which has saved me a lot of games, and the powerful Twofold Grace. This card is so great in this tier deck. So now I'm going to show you some different replays and my commentary over those to see how the matches play out. Once again, apologies for the last video because it just didn't turn out the way we wanted, and I hope I can make up for it with this one. So without further ado, let's review some replays. So the first match I want to show you right now is what I think is a really good matchup for our deck, and that is Golden Rune. Now, Golden Rune is a strong deck, but our deck has most outs to it, so you'll see in this match. Try to mulligan for the Charlemagne, but I'm also keeping the Dashing Duelist for the draw and the word, and the Blooming Dancer because it's still gonna be a free. And in this case, you see we draw the Twofold Grace, and as you will see now, I actually go for the Amaterasu instead of the Tsukiyomi. Now, the one reason you want to do this is because of the rush effect is going to come in handy much later, and because as I'm in second, if I get the Charlemagne, I get 1 extra damage with the Tsukiyomi into the face after I evo. So what I'm doing here is just playing the Dashing Duelist reactively. I'm going to keep drawing, and I'm going to protect myself from more face damage. The good part about this deck is you have a lot of reactive plays, and you don't really have to worry that much about countering this one. So as you can see, they cannot clear the 1-3 word, and I get the Tsukiyomi, and in this case I play as Aspensiori and actually get the Charlemagne. So I will get the effect off, and now my Tsukiyomi is going to deal 2 damage with the ping effect, as you will see now thanks to Charlemagne, and that extra damage actually matters in some matchups. So now here is turn 5, it's just Golden Bird turn, and for some reason they decided not to evolve it. So I go for the Troya play to clear one of the wards, and now I go for the triple Evo play you can do with this deck, with the Troya, with the Harmony of the Night, and buffing the Fallen Angel. This not only clears the entire board, also heals us for 6 damage. We only need 4, but it's always nice to read the Golden Rune. Sadly now our board is empty, but we're already fine as you will see next turn. They keep getting their stacks, they keep getting their golems, but to us it doesn't really matter. They play another Golem Lord, and now, thanks to the other effect, we will get back Amaterasu. Now I'll play all this, and I will do the play that usually sticks to the game, which is High-Minded Knight. And this turn, you see, we got another 3 Evos. This is already the 7th necessary for Alice next turn. So now as I have all the neutrals in my board, I get the counter magic, and I trade for this. Now we have a not secure lethal card. We have a very, very important turn later. Augmentation is gonna get rid of all this. All this will destroy that one. And even if they play Golden Lord here, we're completely fine. They just go for as many golems as they can. And in the end, we're still just blocking. And now, they cannot clear the 4-1. They are at 19 HP. And now we just have free rotate everything. We will play the Alice, this already has 7 Evos. And we'll go face for 6 damage. The Green Mirror will go for another 6 damage. Normally, the Evo will do an extra 3 damage. And finally, the Blooming Dancer will finish the deal with 5 damage. Really clear game thanks to High-Minded Knight. For this match, I am actually going against Castelfor as one of the 3 top decks of this expansion. And this deck can also be a problem, as you see. This time I decided to not keep the Blooming Dancer, and I do get the Charlemagne early. But the problem is this deck is much more aggressive than Golden Rune and doesn't rely on just hitting you with one time 40 damage. So in this case I have to play a little bit differently. Luckily they don't have the bounces, but Saturn Steel is a really good card. And now I'll just play the Dashing Duelist and get myself some word, some very much needed word. They will go for a Plumeria, getting the Storm for the Evo turns, and a second Sapling, giving us already 5 followers that left play. And in this case I do a very annoying play. I trade with this, and I play one of my Charlemagnes. Just because if it survives, I can go for the Evo and do more damage. If it doesn't, I still have the other Charlemagne. So now I'm forcing them to trade, but in this case, they don't get it. And for some reason they just leave the field open. So now I have everything I need, I Evo the Charlemagne, and as I already have more Evos, I can get the Aspensioria. I get the triple Evo turn. And we have our hand pretty much set up. We have 2 High-Minded Knights, but at the same time, you see a lot of unplayable cards. We have 2 Grimnirs, an Alice, and High-Minded Knights, and Regulars that will not come into play until much later. They have to do all sorts of bounces and things to just clear this board. And as you can see, they already have the 10 followers by turn 5. So this deck is just really fast. So they roll the Salvia Panther, and they will actually clear the entire board. That just shows the power of Castel. Well, draw card with the Blooming Dancer and actually getting the Aspensioria is huge. So what I do here is pretty straightforward. Charlemagne to not overdraw, play the Aspensioria, and in this case I just go for the High-Minded Knight. I have another one, and there's not really any to worry. We're already at 5 Evos. And to Charlemagne being free, and well, just hope nothing happens. We don't get the effect because we only have 1 neutral on the VR, but it's fine. We already have another one. We are ready for the setup. They start playing the Castel, they start getting the Regan players, and this is when it starts to get a little bit scary. You get 2 Regan players. They are turning everything out. I still don't get why they didn't use the main. They will clear the board with an Evo. I was hoping they go face here, but they chose to actually clear, which was the good play. So here what I chose to do is I play that Fury. I don't care about the other in this case. And I go for the hard reader because this will give me both the neutrals I need. Get the last evils that I need. And play the high-minded knight. Because I know I can't get LTK this turn. So I need my counter magic. Dashing Bullet will give me the extra ward and the extra evil point. Just in case I need it. I'm going to clear the board. And this counter magic effect is really powerful. It just puts a lot of pressure into everyone. Lily is going to be one of the cards that actually annoys you a lot. Just because most of the deck has a Storm. And as you can see, they cannot get rid of anything on the board. And we still have 11 damage without the deck. They cannot clear. They play the Alice, and Alice will do only 3 damage. But with the evil recovery, we'll do 4 damage. I'm sorry, 4 damage. Grimir will do 6. Grimir will do the extra 3, thanks to the evil effect. And as I said, we already have 11 damage on board, and we sealed the deal pretty easily, thanks to the counter magic just not letting them play as they wanted. Lastly, I want to show this specific Haven match. I have fought a lot of Haven matches, but this was one of the most terribly annoying ones I ever played with this deck. And honestly, I think I want you to see this one. So first we start off with not the greatest hand, I just had the Valkyria lands, but I have Asuka's Shiori and that will be a triple draw. Normally you want to have a 2-drop, but as you can see I don't have one. It's pretty sad, but sometimes it happens. And we see that immediately we're playing against Lina. I don't know if it's pure or with Alluvia, but we'll see. Luckily we top deck the twofold race, and we can do the usual Amaterasu setup, and we actually get to top deck a Troya. Now, what I think I should do here is either play the Shiori or set up the Troya for double evil, and as I top deck a neutral, I go immediately for the Asuka Shiori. And this allows me to have 2 sword cards in hand, and Troya will immediately search for the I almost said Kaguya-Straw. I've been playing too much Rising. So, they got the card of Compassion, but as you know, Charlemagne doesn't need an evil point, so I will go for the Troya, I'll get the evil, and I'll get the Charlemagne, and I will just immediately play an Evolver. Now, the way you trade here doesn't really matter. Get the Troya, and we get the Tsukiyomi. We get the pinks, but with what's on forward and the lineup that they will play now, it doesn't matter. And now starts what I call the countdown, because now they will have constant healing every turn. And it becomes just a fight of resources, like how much do I have to force them to waste their resources in order for me to play. So I get the Asuka Shiori, no problem here, and I get a really nice top deck, getting for the only player, one of the very few players in this turn that can actually give me 4 evils in one turn. So I could have Alice active already, but I'm still missing 1 evil. So anyway, I get the 4 evils in one turn, and clear the line with relative ease. But now, again, this becomes a battle of how many resources do they have to commit to clear this board. And honestly, Armed Almirage is, well, one of the best, because this is going to allow them to clear all but one of the followers. And luckily for them, they get a Court of Mysteries, which is going to clear the entire board and start bringing me even more. So here I am tempted to go for Gilgamesh, but I say I need to start getting more evil, so I'm going for the Alice. I am going to just go face, I'm going to set up. I get the Troya, the Charlemagne, and I play the Charlemagne just to not get, you know, overdraw. Charlemagne will get the free evil, and I will choose to trade with Charlemagne because in the end, if they will have the wolves and to clear. Now, as you can see, it's turn 7, and I still have not done a single point of damage to them. They already are like in 5 or more. They're pressuring me a lot. I cannot really do much against most of these things. Troya sadly doesn't get the bonus effect due to her being sword, and they got a full board, and they still ping me for 3, they heal full, and honestly I'm just spraying at this point. Gilgamesh will destroy 2, and I will get to go phase for basically 10 damage. And this is one of the saddest things because I actually mill 1 Alice. Harbinger of Night will help me clear, and I choose not to evo because I have the Granblue in hand. I know they cannot OTK me, so I just let the thing live. However, they do get another Cottontail, and that will be a total of almost 10 damage to my face. I think it turns into 11 now. But not only do they clear, they also get the Sword of Mystery, so they clear everything on the board, and they even get an Executor for extra healing. Now I get pinged by 5, they are again at full HP, and there's a massive board on the field. I get them at Tsukiyomi, excuse me. And here's what I think. I need to just go for him. I need to go for it. So I get the Alice, and luckily I got a high-minded knife that is not only going to clear 2 things into all this, but it's also going to give me, as we have the Tsukiyomi, the Alice, and the Angel, it's going to give me the counter magic effect, because this counter magic effect is much more relevant than what you think. I get the Troya, and I get to clear the entire board while dealing a damage. Just honestly pretty huge. Now, the Pendulum Almanach, I don't really like playing this card, but it worked out for them this time. They just keep healing. They keep healing. They are all again at 22. But as you can see, I am taking more and more resources from them. So what I do now is, alright, I'm going in. I don't care. I'm going double Grimnir. I'm going with the other Amaterasu to set up later, because of the effect. And I'll just hope for the best. I don't have the counter magic anymore. And they played the Main Minister, getting more healing, getting more damage. And now I get a second Amaterasu. And this is where I just gamble. This is where I just gamble. I play the high-minded, evolve the Green because I don't have a needle to just get the damage. I get my counter magic. And I play Charlemagne and Grimnir, hoping for the best that I don't get the both Grimnirs out, and I actually get rewarded for it. I get both Grimnirs on the board, and I set up for more healing. Now they have 4 cards in hand. Lina and the Waltzer is not gonna do much for them, and they just simply cannot contest with what's on the board. I heal more, I have enough damage on the board, but I want to be annoying, so I just play the Gilgamesh just to show off a little bit, and they will scoop. Really annoying, for a long game, but we got there in the end. So what are my final thoughts for Neutral Sword in this meta? Well, it's not good, it's not really that good. It's a really fun deck to play, yes. It's a really interesting archetype, yes, because it has a lot of versatility and it has a lot of things going for it, but sadly, depending on cards like Alice, Grimnir, and Gilgamesh to just seal off the game, it's kind of bad. They take too long to set up, and you don't really have an inbuilt win conditions you can do. There are some builds with Peerless Warrior that you can try as well. You can look those up. I think they're pretty fun as well. But at the same time, well, if you want to play this is the more pure version, the more Evo focused. There's also some variants in Unlimited, which in Unlimited this deck is actually pretty insane. You can check some of those lists in the Shrine, there's a lot of people working on those. But, well, to close it out, if you want to play Neutral Sword, sure, go for it. You're not gonna win a lot, like this deck is struggling a little bit, but as you can see, you can have some good games. If you play correctly, if you guess what your opponent can do, and of course, if you can just pilot it the best way you can. And let's be a little bit real, with a little bit of luck. But that has been it. Again, this is the new format of video we're trying. I hope you like this video. If you do, please let us know. leave us a comment, like, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. I have been Nobbu playing Neutral Swordcraft, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.